It made me cry.
This one's wife. You had better tell them this, or else. This one's wife can't stand to be criticised. She cannot stand to be criticised because her narcissism makes her believe that she's wonderful, that she's brilliant, that she is above criticism. It makes her believe that she's beautifully dressed, fantastically turned out, intelligent, meaningful, that she provides inspirational observations to the world at large, that she is kind, that she's radiant, that she's magnetic, that she is a better version than Diana, Princess of Wales, that she's fantastic in the sack, that she knows anything about everything. She always knows the right answer. She's an expert. She's omnipresent and omniscient. Indeed, she is a living saint and a god that walks amongst us all. Accordingly, how can anybody criticise her when she's that good? If you criticise her, there's evidently something wrong with you, because there isn't anything wrong with her. You must be stupid. You must be bigoted. You must be a racist if you have to criticise her. And, of course, when criticism manifests, it is a threat to control that she needs to nullify. And as you know, she's faced plenty of it again and again and again as a consequence of the haphazard way that her narcissism functions, i.e. it creates collateral consequences. But furthermore, just recently, the spectre of her bullying nature has loomed large once again. After accusations of being a bully in the United Kingdom, after accusations of being a bully in Australia, of bullying staff, of bullying children, of bullying friends, of bullying people that worked on the shoots with her before she became a member of the royal family. And now accused of bullying her staff in the United States by an organisation which is the industry Bible that has the affidavits and has evidence from 12 people. Naturally, this one's wife needs to counter that. And the simplest way for her to do so is to engage in more bullying. Namely, you lot here, if you value your jobs, you're going to get out there and tell the world what a brilliant boss I am. Is it not the case that I have bought you flowers, that I have brought you eggs, that I have sent you emails? Get out there and tell the world, or else. Now, she might not necessarily have been so threatening as to deliver it that way, but the import is the same. You need to be telling people that I'm a brilliant boss. She could have caused this to have been issued by a lieutenant. It might be that she will have said to them, it would be useful, you know, to counter these awful lies about me if you would tell this particular outlet what a good boss I am. Do you remember that time when I brought you some eggs from home? You do. Tell them about that. Or, I recognise you all work so hard and these people are just trying to destroy what we're building. So don't you agree with me that we need to demonstrate that these are just lies from former disgruntled members of staff who are just envious that they no longer hold a position here like you lucky people have, at least for the moment. There is no doubt that as a mid-range narcissist, this one's wife will have utilised threat in order to compel members of her coterie to churn out that she is a wonderful boss. Laughably, we had the quotation about watering the seeds, which clearly came from this one's wife, as I explained yesterday. And here we have yet more bullshit that has been generated with the express intention of nullifying the threat to control by these criticisms, and it fails. Why? Because it's all too obvious that this one's wife has sought to galvanise these people to speak up on her behalf, and they've only done so after the criticisms have come about. It isn't the case that you hear glowing testimonials about this one's wife on a regular basis from her staff. It isn't the case that they happen to contact the local newspaper and say, I'd just like to let you know that I'd like to nominate this one's wife as boss of the year. She's so caring. She gave me an egg this morning. Or, I'm going to get in touch with Oprah and see if there can be a programme all about the best boss in California, nay, the United States, no, the world. It's this one's wife. She sent me an email thanking me for doing something. Gosh, aren't I blessed? None of that happens. It only happens by way of response. And there are two fundamental problems that this wife has, which of course she is unable to grasp. One, all of this is a reaction to what has happened, and most people can see that. And secondly, there's lots of evidence, supported by the fact that she's a narcissist, that demonstrates that she is a bully, and therefore the allegations that have been put forward are entirely believable and credible. And moreover, it means that if you understand narcissism, you'll know that even when she's pleasant, it's not genuine. It's just another form of manipulation. That were it genuine, she wouldn't bully people. But because she does, because she's a narcissist, we know that whatever she does, good or bad, is simply driven by self-interest. It isn't because she cares about her staff. She thinks she does because her narcissism makes her believe that in order to compel her to assert control, etc. But the fact is, her very conduct in having people who've complained about her reducing grown men to tears, being a dictator in high heels, going around like a demon boss, that she has psycho moments, that she belittles people and shouts at them and is demanding and sends them emails at ridiculous times, etc., that she always had somebody in her sights. All of that is demonstrative of her narcissism and means that when she is pleasant, it's just an artifice. It's Jamoir again. In the Mail, she writes, like a cavalry galloping to the rescue of their wounded leaders, former and current employees of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex rushed into print this week to big up their bosses. In the pages of Us Weekly, an influential American showbiz magazine popular with teens and teen mums, print and online readers were breathlessly informed by Team Sussex that Prince Harry was a super great guy, no airs and graces, just a regular dude, rah, rah, rah. Meanwhile, what about girl boss this one's wife? According to those who worked for her and lived to tell the tale, she was completely marvellous. She's just too marvellous for words. No, really, pass me that halo and let her duchessy love light shine. For she was kind and thoughtful. She made gourmet snacks. Some of my favourite memories, said former Archwell President Mandana Dayana, who lasted 18 months, were during our weekly meetings in her Monty Shit Show home, where this one's wife always served the most incredible lunches and her latest beautiful concoctions. Please take the gun away from my head. I'm imagining exquisite delicacies such as vegetable soup and green salad, possibly even a delightful egg-based omelette sourced from the in-house rescue chickens. As the Sussex staff detailed the positives for posterity, it was hard to determine the true nature of their relationship with their bosses. Attorney-client, doctor-patient, jailer-inmate, star, civilian, duchess, serf. And was it my imagination, or were the outpourings of these worker drones reminiscent of the rising hysteria of someone chained to a radiator in the basement of Archwell Towers hoping to get home by Christmas? According to their party pre-gibberish, this one's wife was a Tinkerbell of Titbits, a Mother Teresa of munificence, this gift-giving goddess who lavished staff with bow-tied presents and on-brand sharing and caring. Bribery, assertion of control. When I adopted my dog, the next day I had a luxury brand leash and new collar on my doorstep, said one former staffer, who amusingly thought the gifts were for her pup, which, of course, we know they were taken off Harry. They want to take care of us, one current employee told US Weekly. This one's wife will do things like, you mentioned on the call your skin's bothering you. I put together a kit for you. Is that being kind and helpful? Is that tending to the pimpled lame? Or a tacit message to up their game? Well, actually, it's simply the assertion of control by a narcissist who buys gifts in order to control people, because that's what everything that she does when it comes to other people is about. For those of us who have spent a lifetime working in offices and assorted workplaces alongside good bosses and bad, the thought of a superior sending you a tub of wrinkle cream or some self-improving unguent, it just makes me want to die. But listen, there's more. This one's wife, said one staffer, is known for giving credit where it's due. If you're in a meeting and a great idea is referenced, she makes sure to give props, respect and appreciation to the person who generated the idea, they said. And after a big trip, Every employee gets a personal email thanking them for their contribution in making it a success. An email! Oh, how lovely! Isn't this low-level respect, at the very least, a valued member of staff deserves? These fawning responses in US Weekly came in riposte to the damning article in The Hollywood Reporter. It should be pointed out that US Weekly is to the Sussexes what Pravda was to Stalin, and what The Guardian is to a Labour MP. A blaring bugle of uncritical support. So we heard in great detail about Archwell team visits to the couple's Monteshitcho mansion, where this one's wife gave everyone baskets of flowers, fruit and eggs to take home. So darling of her. She also passed on her children's hand-me-downs. Is there no end to her generosity? One employee even told Us Weekly that despite this one's wife's reputation as a mini tyrant, they had never heard her yell. They didn't tell them, of course, that staff member was deaf. Instead, the Duchess gave her staff clear direction and is solution-orientated, which makes her sound like a rather lovely and amenable bottle of glue, wielding, of course, a cattle prod. And when it came to hiring staff, another raving Archwell acolyte insisted that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex always picked the best of the best from every field and watered the seeds for them to flourish. But what are Harry and this one's wife growing for posterity out there in California? An Archwell empire or a damp squib? Seeds, solution, eggs? What the hell is going on? Of course, these accusations are nothing new to royal watchers in the United Kingdom. The Duchess of Sussex has long been dogged by reports she promotes a toxic workplace environment, along with repeated accusations of what her lawyers insist to this day we must call difficult behaviour. In 2021, reports that the former actress had allegedly bullied and reduced staff members to tears at Kensington Palace were dismissed by the Sussexes as a smear. Yet it is no secret that the couple have lost 18 employees to date in their short time as a company entity in both the UK and the United States. One new American-based source blames unbearable and condescending this one's wife, the alarming churn and burn rate. These rumours just will not go away. But the big difference this time is that it is US news outlets that are making the claims. It then goes on about The Hollywood Reporter, which you've already heard. Thus, this is one journalist amongst many that isn't charmed by the offensive that has been launched by this one's wife, and you similarly will be able to see through it. It's the criticism that comes from the Daily Mail and will be replicated elsewhere, but provides me with the useful opportunity to explain to you that this is simply a reaction to the threat to control that you're seeing, that ordinarily nobody lauds her as a boss, and she simply made it known that you better tell them that I'm a really lovely boss, or you're going to lose your job or be for the high jump. These individuals, wanting to keep their positions, are going to do what Madam instructs them to do, and one cannot accept anything that has been suggested as a genuine representation of care, both in terms of the fact that this is a propaganda exercise, and as you know, with the narcissist, there's no genuine altruism, there's no genuine care, it's all self-serving. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.